Playing it one more time. One more time from the top. Okay, I think there is audio coming out now.
Yeah, I'm hearing the stream on my end.
Hey,
Yep, it's coming through loud and clear.
All right, we good.
Hey, let's take a moment and just.
I'm getting everybody's audio besides Alex.
Who needs them? We can carry it, guys.
Like that guy. His audio isn't important to the stream, right? Oh wait, I gotta wait for it to catch up. No, still can't hear you.
Man.
Oh boy.
This is a great moment to remind the viewers at home, don't forget, streamers are people too, and we're basically doing everything that a TV company does with one person and 1,000th the budget. So, go easy on us, you bastards. Yeah.
So donate money to Alex.
Okay, is that picking up any of my audio? Can anyone hear me? It's all just fucking.
I can hear you amongst us. I'm trying to see if the stream.
I can hear you on the stream now.
I think the stream can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes, they can be heard. You are a little quiet, but they can be heard.
Okay.
Yep. Confirmed from everybody. All right, we're good. We're golden.
Yeah.
You look great. That never changed.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Bam.
All right,
Big
everyone.
compliment from
Catch
Chris.
up. Goblin, Elephant Man, Fish, and etc. Let's go.
And all the rest.
Miscellaneous.
Vaguely humanoid amoeba.
How you doing out there, chat? Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you
that's
very
okay.
much, Resident Ed. I appreciate you.
What a time to be alive.
So, here in these dark times, let's take a moment to relax, forget all that horrifically aggravating shit that just happened, and let's just have a good time, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let the good times roll.
Tell us a story, Alec.
Oh, Ina says that she missed my gratitude for. Thank you for the 5 months subscribing. That's very nice of my wife to do.
Into his own pocket, gang. That's the way it goes, you know, man. These freaking big fat cats on Wall Street. Yeah.
So, last we had left off.
Roll
It's
for
fine.
initiative.
It's fine. I was like, this morning, I was like, you know what, gang? Why don't we cut the intros a little short so that we can get right into it, so we're not wasting time. Fucking hell. Okay. The last that we had left off, the party had actually gone down into this cavern and had a bit of a rough fight with this large stone guardian, a bygone relic from the Age of Kings. And it was a tough fight. Helped not in the least by Rio's whale spirit manifesting completely and just like cracking most of the statue.
Heck yeah, normal stuff.
But with that, you will actually travel a little further down this underground stream, finding this large marble block and a piece from a Basilica of the Heavens. When you touched it, all of you suddenly found yourselves with the innate knowledge to track a pod of sky whales, which, again, would be firstly such a monumental payday that it's hard to describe, but also a discovery unlike anyone has ever seen before. Now, as you will pull away from this broken piece, which, as I said, crumbles into marble dust and shards, there's a few small pieces that might be valuable just for the actual value of like the nice marble, you know. But has essentially crumbled away into nothing. But you all hear a very loud noise before you have even a moment to kind of take in, which is the sound of a horrible rock slide behind you, as it seems that Shale's sabotage has worked, and you hear several men screaming as they fall, and the like huge side like rips away and breaks, and you hear ah, as it seems several men just fell down the side, trying to, spelunk down into this cavern.
Well, that's our cue.
That's all, folks.
So, the big marble piece that just crumbled, was that the only? Does that seem to be the only wreckage in here from the basilica?
Make a perception check.
Absolutely. I knew I was missing. I knew a piece of my setup here was missing. There's my character sheet.
Don't need that.
Gotta update my... There we go. Perception.
Okay. You look around to try and see if there's any form of like other pieces of the basilica, and you can see that the stream continues on quite a ways. It seems to wend off into the darkness. Any piece of notable size, something that could actually be like valuable, seems to have broken and crumbled away when this thing impacted, causing that like huge crater that like punched a hole down into this cavern. Like I said, it looks like it bounced several times, breaking away smaller pieces, but nothing considerable enough that you think would have any additional properties like this large piece that you found. I will say that there's probably about 5, let's say 10 pounds of salvageable marble here for, if you have a masonry kit or something like that, that could be turned into little stone statues or some other stonework. But like I said, nothing else bigger than like, a little pebble.
Shale will start scooping them up. Especially once she heard the noise, it's like it's time to go. So, I activated my multi-tool, my all-purpose tool, and gave it mold earth. I'm actually going to use mold earth to shovel all the usable marble into a bag. If someone's got like a bag or something, we can.
Yeah, right in here. Holds out
She
his
just
satchel.
pulls out her tool and just kind of sprays it like a pressure washer all into the bag. Alec, do I feel a breeze coming through the cavern, like if there's an exit
Actually,
somewhere
yes.
else?
Yes. Further down the stream, like I said, it turns off into further darkness, but you do feel air being pulled in that direction. And I will say, with your perception check that you made, um, you can hear like continues further on, like probably another couple hundred yards or so. Beyond that, you can't hear much of anything else, but there's definitely airflow going in that way.
She's gonna do the old kind of feel for the breeze, and she's like, okay, so best I can figure is we either go back through our buddies there, or we find an exit that away and double back to grab the elks later.
Yeah, I think we're best pressing forward. That seems like they're in a whole heap of something back there.
I agree. Dorian's mouth forms to say the words and then immediately disappears again.
Also, a reminder that Harls is just like wrecked, and he's still leaning on Shale's mech.
You got
Like,
you got the hanky for dabbing your forehead sweat. Just
and blood. Just get it out of the eyes a bit there.
gives you a little.
You can hear further back, like the men who fell. They seem to be shouting. No, you don't hear any like, "Oh my God, he's dead!" But you do hear like, "My legs!" and just like, there's definitely shouting, and they're very upset. The men who fell certainly broke a bunch of shit, but they do seem, enough of them seem ambulatory. You hear one of them shout, "Get up! Go! Find them!"
Oh, yep. That's the old. That's our cue. We got to do the old drill nose exit, which is to run in the opposite direction of the person that's mad at you. Let me see if I got any spell slots left. I'm gonna burn another spell slot on Longstrider. And the mech's gonna shift back on it. It's got this big like tractor wheel on its butt, and then the little feet kind of fold up into wheels. And she kind of pats the back of the mech and is like, "Hop on, Grandpa Wooly. We gotta make like a tree and get the hell out of here."
So the passage we're gonna be taking, going further in, that's how well lit is that path precisely?
It is complete darkness.
All right.
You find that the little motes of like the little rays of light coming from the like punch through entrance are now, you're way too far inside for any of that to reach. There was some of that like bioluminescent like moss and mold. All of that is gone. It's like down this path, it's just pitch black.
Okay.
Does Dorian have dark vision?
He actually has something better. Dorian reaches into his bag as he sort of clambers onto the side of the mech. I figured there's like a handle or something, kind of hanging off the side of it. And he reaches into his pack and pulls out this pretty. It almost looks sort of like a cocoon, like almost like one of those like glowing like a fruit kind of, sort of peeking through the sides, but it's clearly just like a resin cocoon. And inside there's like a couple of little flittering, glowing moths. He just whispers at it, "Help us," and holds it out. And the lantern begins to glow very bright. He has a lantern of revealing, and he's going to use this.
Nice.
I feel like while you were getting that ready, Harl's was like, "All right, I got something for this." And he's just grabbing like a torch and just like getting a little flint going. Oh well,
the tinderbox.
Well, gathering up, you all can begin to make your way. What is Rio doing?
I think Rio is still kind of reeling from this whole experience. I think they are they're still on. They still have their steed for a little while longer, so they're just kind of floating alongside everybody on this kind of spectral swordfish here, just kind of like floating, bobbing alongside everybody, and they've got their whalebone warhammer here, the Gravia's gift, just kind of in their hands, just kind of looking at it and thinking on that moment where Gravia just like fully appeared and like fucked shit up. I don't think they've experienced that in its full,
Not to that
full
extent.
ability like that. So I think they're just kind of, for the first time maybe, since you guys have met them, fully silent, just kind of sitting and looking at this warhammer. Definitely confused and maybe a little concerned.
If I may, maybe you're like we're kind of zoomed in on your face as you're like contemplating, and it's like kind of like getting a little tense, and then maybe you hear Shale's voice kind of snap you out of it briefly, where it's like, "God, Dorian, get on Rio's big fish and let's get out of here." Like,
yeah, hey, come on. Anybody who can fit on the little swordfish is welcome aboard. The SS Swordfish.
I got a movement speed of 40 feet now. And between me and like your swordfish, that we should be able to put a little bit of distance.
Yeah.
Is there any penalty if I'm riding along with you, or do you compensated for that?
Yeah. And Swordfish has 60 feet of flying speed. So
I can basically make myself strength 20 with by burning a charge. So
Yes.
Nice.
Just kind of slumped over. All right, let's roll out.
Right, Dorian, I guess, gets on the swordfish. He's probably a lot more comfortable than I feel about this decision, but he just sort of hops onto it, gives it a little pat on the side, and holds out his
I like to
lantern.
think it's a little too high. So as Dorian jumps up, I just like pick Dorian up, just like way too strong for my size. Just bring him up on
Hoist.
the. All
God.
right, gang. Slightly pull his arm out of his socket. No big deal.
I think the mech's like big drum shaped backpack splits open into like a little like cramped seat, like a bucket seat that you put in the big bag of marble, and then you like scoot in next to it, like your knees up to your chin.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting looking group as you're racing down this underground passageway, and there are some sections where there's like you can go above the actual water line because there's side passages. There are some sections where you have to like go into the water, with the exception of Rio and Dorian, who can fly over it. But you do hear noise of some of the men who were behind you, who were like seem to be moving up. You hear the faintest bits of shouting, though as you're like just pulling away around the corner and like racing down, you hear like one man like running. He seems like he might be like 60-ish feet behind you, and as he like catches up to like where that stone guardian was, you hear a bit of like stone grinding on stone of like the last little bits of movement, and you hear him like, "What the fuck?" and then nothing, as it just like woof, and you race down the river. One last little bit of juice left in that stone guardian.
Oh,
Nice.
one of those cracked fists. Like, just like,
Oh man, no, we forgot about the third arm. The last arm that we forgot about.
the
We don't
secret.
talk about the third arm.
The legs that are buried underneath the ground.
Pop up, just start kicking everyone in the butt.
Perfect.
Ain't no kicking.
Now, continuing down this passage, it bends and twists off in the darkness, moving to see where the water has warped around some of the heavier deposits of stone, and cracked through other softer deposits. But after about 2 or 3 miles, for Dorian, you hit a moment where you feel that you could almost turn the lantern off, because the very far end you see a little pinpoint of light of an exit from this stream.
So Dorian holds the lamp a little bit to the side. He keeps it burning because now he's worried there's other things possibly down here, even if it's not likely. Like, still, this is a sacred place. Clearly it holds secrets. Maybe the lantern revealing will help us. But even though that's the case, he leans forward and he sort of cranes a hand past Rio's shoulder. I imagine, like, again, Rio like this squat, thick, dense being. And Dorian's a little bit more slender, just like hand over shoulder, and just points. There. I think we're getting close.
Now, because you have the lantern of revealing, as you get within about a half mile of this actual exit, you begin to see figures on either side of the river. They begin to manifest as soon as they hit the lantern's light. And you see these ghostly, translucent forms of men and women, mostly human, wearing fine robes, some of them in armor, some of them in simple clothing. But all of it is of a fashion that you all have not seen before, of a very old, very traditional finery. They don't seem to regard any of you in any discernible way. But these ghosts stand this eternal vigil over this stream. And finally, within the last 100 feet or so of the exit, you see one man who stands a little taller than all of the others. He's wearing this heavy plate armor, and you can see that the gauntlets have been built out with these like extra plating. He wields a large shield on one arm, and he has in the other hand this massive sword, this large plate helmet that obscures his face completely. There's much more detail here, but all of you, without exception, immediately recognize the design of his armor and his like enlarged gauntlets and his faceless mask of a helmet as what that statue was based off of. And he stands and he kind of surveils this place, clearly some guard or champion. And as you move and you whip past him at top speed, he is the only ghost to subtly turn and look and watch you leave. Then he turns back and looks back down the stream as you all race out the exit, which the light of day hits you, and it is a bright shift that you all have to kind of like blink to get the proper sunlight and be like, ho! And looking out, you're on an open steppe with the stream that kind of slowly gurgles out and moves and makes this small little lake, maybe about 50 feet in diameter. And then it kind of like sets off with a couple smaller little trickling brooks that descend off to the west. But there is, right by the exit, this tiny cave where the stream lets out. It's actually tiny enough that you all have to duck as you're making your way through the exit. There's a little sign that is planted, and it has written in common on it some words.
I'll read it.
Well, you can see it says, "Do not enter, dangerous statue inside."
I'll just.
Really should
I
have it
turned
on
to everybody.
both sides.
Oh, I don't need that anymore. Just.
I turned to everybody and I go, you know, when we walked in, I said to myself, man, you know, there's probably a sign we're missing. And here it was the whole time. Do you think we should make sure to like write like a circle around it just so everybody knows? Because there's clearly another statue in there we missed.
I'm
God
sure
damn it.
the folks who just fell down the cliff will have some signs. It'll be fine.
No, I guess bones work as a sign in their own way.
Dorian leans towards the cocoon and just gently says, "Thank you." And the little moths inside cease glowing so brightly and kind of rest inside as he puts the lantern away.
No. From where you're at, you can see the step moves out, and there's like a soft plateau, and then another stretch about 20 feet up, and then it like continues, and slowly the hill like rolls up. At the very far end, you see a couple little belches of smoke, and the very bit at the end of your vision, a couple miles back, is the airship, the Radicor blasting airship, back at the other entrance. Which, like I said, fortunately no sign there, because the entrance was just made a couple days ago.
And then do we know? I know we unhitched the elk so that they wouldn't be stuck to the cart while we were gone, just in case anything happened.
Right.
But do we know the cart? I know we pulled off to the side, but it was pretty close to kind of where all this hubbub is right now, right? Still.
Yes. Yeah.
I might have to sneak up, see how many people are left behind at the airship. See if we can get around them. I'm sure Dorian can probably retrieve the elk one way or another. Some kind of elk call.
I actually do have, one wild shape left. I could go to them as an elk and ask them to come with me again. And that, I imagine, would arouse a little less suspicion than a person skulking around trying to get them going.
We can try to
Come to you
recover the cart
today
while you're
as
doing
an
that.
elk.
Say again?
I can try to recover the cart while you go get the elk.
Sounds good.
All right. Does anyone have any equipment or skills that are relevant to this situation before I blunder into this? Because I've only got not very stealthy.
Need something punched or spooked?
If I get caught.
That's all I do.
If I get caught, maybe Grandpa Woolie's owl can scope the airship, see who's outside.
Yeah, certainly. I think Frizz can help us out with that, if that's all right with you, girl. I don't have any sort of direct beast bond left, but I'm sure we have our own ways of simple communication.
Yeah.
Give me a coo. Give me a hoot for each one of them out there.
Yeah. So I'll send her out
Make a perception check for Frizzle
With-
Pepper, please.
with her stats. Okay.
Yes.
Beast of the sky. Oh, she's hurting too.
It's an owl. They don't generally they're not very hardy creatures.
All right. So perception is wisdom. So I'm just going to roll wisdom here.
And I believe you can add your proficiency bonus to it. So just add 2 to whatever it is.
Okay. So 19.
Okay. So you you send Frizz of Pepper out, and your owl takes off from your shoulder and flies out, and it is a ways over to the where the airship is. So they return, several minutes later, and they only give you 2. So they seem pretty confident that there's only 2 people up on the ground level.
Let me check a class feature real quick.
2's not bad. Could subdue them.
Or if there's a way someone could draw them away while the other one fetches the cart.
Oh. We do have someone who's quite specialized in spooking things.
Oh, I could spook them real good if you wanted me to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the case.
Get in there.
Rise an elk. That would work great. That'd be preferable, actually.
I'll fly in on my spectral.
How long does that last?
It lasts a while.
If it's 8 hours, you're good. If it's an hour, then it's gone.
Let's see
here.
My speed boost
It
is only an hour.
lasts for.
It's weird. Oh, that's right. Summon spectral.
It doesn't really.
As long as you need it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's as long as I need it. I think it's here until it dies or I dismiss it.
Does it have a duration on it?
For fine steed?
It says casting time 10 minutes, but I don't think that it says duration instantaneous. So I feel like that's
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
build them out within 1
When
mile
it
of
drops
you.
to 0, it disappears. Otherwise, there you go.
Got it. This is my. We've added to the party. This
Wow.
guy's just here now.
That's actually really freaking useful.
And dude, summon greater steed. Great.
The
10
better
out of
to
10.
lead our cart.
For reference for next time, it sounds like we can't. Sounds like we can't cast that in combat.
No,
Yeah,
it takes
that's
way
fine.
longer than I thought.
Okay, that's the trade-off.
Yeah, it's a
That's the
ritual.
trade-off. 'Cause
For
I
sure.
needed to have done it before combat, but that's fine. You know what? It was a cool moment.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah,
You know
right.
what? I
Should we
also-
compromise and say that it's not going to last as long this time?
That's right. You know what? It's going away soon. That's the compromise. If I do it longer, if I do it out of combat, it'll last forever. But this time, it's on its way out.
It's okay. I also realized that you were slowed, so you should not have had enough movement to have been able to get on the actual thing. It's okay.
Wait,
Because that reduces your speed by half, and it takes half your speed to mount a creature.
That's hilarious. So you would have had enough to get on the horse or on the steed. And that's it.
For
That's
next
it.
time.
Listen, guys. You know what?
It's
There was a
okay.
big spooky whale. Anything can happen.
My,
You
my
know?
style as a DM can usually be summed up by, like, you know what? That's fine. It's cool. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's always like, we'll fix it later.
Yeah.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's
So
do it
I-
live.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess I'll hop off my swordfish here. Give him a pat on the head and say like, "All right, thank you, pal. It was great hanging out with you. And you know what? I'll see you next time, buddy." And as it disappears, I'll turn and I go, "I've never seen that guy before. New. I've never done that before."
Well,
First time for everything.
you lean into one of us, like, who is that guy?
So anyway, what do we got?
Thank you for the hydrate, nurse, and for the fixed posture.
All right, so let's I'm ready to scare some folks.
Alrighty.
I'll go ooga booga them.
Ooga booga big, ooga booga strong. I'm gonna say goodbye, ooga booga song. Alright, so I would like you to, as you move up, are you going by yourself or is anyone going with Rio?
I think Dorian will go with you, just in case.
Are you a steed? Or
Remember,
elk?
Dorian, you're
No,
scooping up the elks, right? And I'm getting the cart,
Yeah,
and then Dorian's spooking them.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's
maybe,
right.
Yeah, so
And then maybe Grandpa is going to be on lookout.
Yeah, I'll have my bow ready. Feel somewhat useful,
Right.
hopefully.
so Dorian's getting elk, and I'm spooking.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And I'm going to
Let's
hang
do
back
it.
and wait to grab the cart.
I'm definitely leaning against a rock though, because I've got one eye that's shut from swelling, and I'm ready to help here.
All right, I'm gonna heft my hammer over my shoulder and start walking up. I don't know how to do anything besides sort of jaunt, so I'm just kind of.
Your gait will not allow you to stop arms akimboing, no matter what.
Absolutely
like, you have to
not.
have your arms out like this.
I have to. I always walk around like I'm just so excited to be here.
Tried to give you a quick tutorial on how to grimace properly, and it's it still just looks like a chipper smile.
Yeah. Is
While
this right?
Now let him have it. You can have it. Alright. Alright, so for Dorian, as you begin moving up as an elk, I would actually like you to make a stealth check. Obviously, this will be pretty easy because you're portraying an elk, but I will say you are a freaky watercolor, like half-shifted elk.
Yeah, there's something. Again, there's always something off about it. Even when he's trying to like pass, like he still has that kind of like he has the elk coloration, but like there's splotches of purple and green. His eyes glow blue. Like there's something weird about this. So looking at this, we got ourselves. So stealth is just dex, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you give me? Is there any modifier you'd want me to add onto that? Because he has no modifiers for stealth as an elk.
No.
Okay.
It's not very. It's not going to be super high DC. I just want to see what.
Okay, that's fair. So that's going to be a D10. So please let me get to the page. Thank you. My God, it is literally clicking everything but the page. There it is. Oh my goodness. Well, good news is I just need to roll D20 when I roll. There we go. 14.
All right.
No mods.
You begin taking kind of a longer way around, and you can see the airship sitting, like, parked basically maybe 30 feet from the actual, like, punch-through entrance. And one of the engines, like, it has these two engines on the side, and this large, it's, like, kind of inflatable balloon on top, and then, like, a set of sails that come off the sides of the balloon. It's this weird mishmash of, like, anything to make this thing fly. Right? This clearly isn't the well-funded side of the Radic War Blasting Company. Like, this is, like, they sent the B team in to deal with this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you see that one of the engine specifically on the left side is, like, charred black with, like, smoke and soot. Clearly there was an engine fire recently, and then you can see, like, there's a couple little punched holes in the sail, and there's, like, huge sections where they've, like, used some kind of adhesive and stitching to, like, sew up the balloon where it's ripped in a couple of places. This thing will fly, but it's not in great shape. You also see two humans, and one of them is standing, like, right next to the actual, like, hole, like, looking down. He's like, "You all right?" And you hear a voice, like, very tiny down at the bottom of the hole. "My fucking leg!" And
Dorian feels a deep, natural, like, compulsion as the elk to just headbutt the dude over the edge, but resists it. realizing that he's not an elk, he's not stupid, there's no need for him to start a fight, but it is very tempting.
There is one guy who's leaning against the airship, and he has his eyes like half closed, and he has a pipe that he's like lighting right now with this tiny little whale oil lighter, and he's like trying to light it, and he's and he like looks and he sees you, and then he looks at the pipe, and then he looks back at you, then he looks at the pipe, and then he like tips the pipe over and dumps it out, and he just puts it away. But he like just goes back to leaning against the airship as you just walk past.
A little too much of the wacky tobacco for that guy.
I feel like the guy at the edge looks like Skinner bending over to tie his shoe. Like, shoe seems to be untied, and he's just like shaking his butt back and forth.
Now, you can see Al and Betty are not far. They're currently just off grazing, like, I mean, maybe 150 feet from you. They've stayed in the general area. You know, you guys weren't down there super long. Making your way over to them, now, since you're an elk, you can speak as an elk, so you don't have to cast anything else. But, Al looks over. Hey! You're the pale one.
Dorian nods and speaks, like, again, to anyone else, just be like a kind of like honking sound, like a lot of elk listeners do at each other, like that half, not quite the full like scream that they can do, but like the mumbling kind of thing. And he just says, "Yes, I am. We're back. Follow me. We're gonna go around these guys." He sort of gestures with his antlers towards the airship.
And he and Betty both kind of like, if an elk could shrug, you know, they just like, all right, fuck it, and they both just start following you. Now, about this time, as you're like beginning to lead them away, Rio, you actually reach up to the airship, and you can see this one guy, like I said, like looking down, and then the other guy is like leaning against the airship. He has his eyes kind of half closed. He looks like he's just taking a moment to rest. But he, like I said, you're making no attempt to be stealthy, if I remember correctly. So he kind of like opens one of his eyes and like looks over at you. Hey, hello. Can I help you?
You gotta get out of here.
Oh.
He just
Oh no.
kind of looks around. No, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, geez.
I'm sorry, you two gotta go though.
No, we don't. This is official Radicor Blasting Company business. So thank you. Have a.
Can I see the other dude as well that was out here?
Yeah, he's still like leaned over, but he turns back to like look at you, and then he kind of like stands up. And his friend kind of gives him like a little like, it's fine, I got it, and like looks back at you. No.
No, I'm gonna need you over here as well. Actually, both of you, because you gotta get out of here. Sorry.
Like behind a bush and off in the corner is like, oh, for the love of God.
And the guy just, no, I'm not doing that. So have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank God this is Bolarius. I'm just saying, if this were any other place.
I don't know what we thought was going to happen. We expected differently.
I should have foreseen this.
I'm gonna take a deep breath and I'm gonna say, "All right, I'm gonna give you one last chance. Right now, we're gonna say you head out, and then if you don't leave this time, we're gonna have a problem, you and I."
I'm warning you.
This is serious. All right, make an intimidation check.
Oh.
I'm gonna make it with disadvantage at this point. I'm just gonna impose that on myself.
Watch it mean 2 natural 20s. I can only hope. So great.
It's like something's
With
weird about
disadvantage,
this.
that's a nat 1. So
Well,
The guy, he kind of shrugs his shoulders a little bit and cracks his neck, and he takes his pipe back out, and you see he like very slowly takes and puts some tobacco in it, takes his little whale oil lighter and lights it, and lets out this big cloud of smoke, and he goes, "Make me."
all right, okay, buddy. Well, and then I would like to activate my form of dread, and just summon Garavia standing behind me and speak in a voice of 1,000 voices.
Okay, that's a wisdom save for both of them.
Wisdom save, yeah. DC 13.
I know they're a whale, but my mental image is just like a big buff JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Man behind you.
But with a whale head.
Like the flippers.
Just
Like a SpongeBob character, but with JoJo proportions.
Or like a BoJack Horseman character where all the whales and the dolphins, their heads point straight up all the time.
Yeah, oh god,
just this guy is literally just like yada yada does, and then you're just like whoa, just with a huge whale stand behind you.
And I just say like, begone this place immediately, mortals, or fear my wrath.
So 2 things happen immediately. As there's this thunderclap with this huge whale spirit that manifests behind you. The guy holding the pipe that just said "make me," he drops it as he pees his pants.
Good.
And he's like, and the other guy goes, "What the fuck?" And he slips and falls. And
Oh. Oh.
and then you hear, "Oh, my fucking legs!"
Oh no, his legs. Oh no.
You can't just take the fall. You got to tuck and roll, guys. Come on.
You hear the other guy like, "You landed on my already broken legs."
My other leg.
A lot of broken legs on this one. And then as this is happening, I turn to Shale, who I know is somewhere behind me. Give a big thumbs up.
Look,
I got him.
So
then
the guy,
the gear.
the guy's just standing there. Like I said, his hand is still like this, but the pipe has fallen out of his hands, and has clearly wet himself. And he's like, "Okay, you made me," and he just walks away, just casual, like, I don't work here. Goodbye. Have a lovely day." And he just is walking away, and then he gets like a few feet, and then he starts picking up speed, and he's running full speed away.
Your character is like the living embodiment of that Japanese metal band Baby Metal, where it's just these 2 cute, adorable girls that look like there's nothing weird about them at all, and then this buff, ripped as hell, 30-year-old guy covered in tattoos comes out and screams death metal into the mic.
That's about it.
Well, you made me.
I turn and I go, all right, gang, looks like we're all set over here. And also,
Covering
if you
your-
want a ship, looks like this one's empty.
Oh,
Oh god.
Bonus.
I will say,
Hell
as
is empty.
a note here, the men of the Radic Ore Blasting cannot get back up. They can't climb up.
broken
'Cause
legs.
you just, well, yes, but also like you sabotage the whole side. It's not secure enough for them to anchor to climb back up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, we should maybe bring them to the hospital, but you guys said they're bad guys, so we can leave them.
So it looks like we're we're clear now.
Yes.
We can take this at our own pace.
Yeah.
I think Harles might at least leave him a rope, though. It'd probably take him a while to get
look
up.
at my-
Okay. I will say from where you're at, you
Alright.
can anchor a rope and toss it down. But it will certainly take them a while to heal themselves up and then like climb up a rope just using upper body strength.
As Shale's gonna like, she goes to grab the cart and then she sees that like it's free and clear and she's like, oh, don't mind if I do. And I'm just gonna go into the airship and poke around. We'll see if there's like some like first aid kits or potions or something.
So looking on the actual airship, it's like I said, it's not in great shape. You can see that on the actual deck, like I said, it's like metal decking. There is a very small. It's not even like a forecastle. It's like literally this, like you probably like Shale could fit inside of it maybe as a tiny little room to just hang a hammock, but it's no bigger than like 3 times the size of an average footlocker. And that they seem to have a few bits of storage, rope, harpoons, basic supplies. There is 2 large barrels. One of them is marked as asbestos, and one of them is marked actually as Radic Ore Blasting Company. It says blasting powder. Now, in the aft castle, there's like this kind of meeting room of sorts that has a large map. It has it has like a couple of chairs. There's some of the like gauges and things like that. The actual ship's wheel is like in the middle of the deck, so you actually have to stand on the deck to captain the ship. And then there is a small little below decks that like all of you could fit, and I will say it is enough if you wanted to bring Al and Betty with you. You would have to break the cart down into pieces, which would take several hours, but you could bring the cart if you wanted. But you'd have to break the cart down unless you have a much faster way to literally shatter it to pieces and then mend it later.
Now, Alec, what would Shale's much more reasonable parents have to say about Grand Theft Airship, like the kind of heat that's gonna bring?
So the thing
Because
is,
she's into it.
obviously, in Bolarius, it's like, you know, murder is extremely uncommon, but like as far as an airship goes, it's like it's a little more loose, some of the legality around that, because it's kind of like if you are willing to take to the skies and deal with like sky whales and pirates and some of the other nonsense flying around up there, then you kind of have to deal with the consequences. So like if you were to just go out to a harbor and steal airships, yeah, you'd get in trouble. I hear like this, the only recompense that you'd have to deal with is the Radic Ore Blasting Company coming to find you. Right now, only 2 of them know what any of you look like. One of them is literally still running off into the steps, and the other one saw Rio for a moment and then fell.
Shale's gonna turn around, put her little hands on her little hips, and just like, I can fix this. We got to ride.
In the actual,
I'm gonna dig around for first aid and like and equipment, like rations, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, in the actual F castle, there are 2 healers kits and 4 potions of greater healing. There's also plenty of like rope and basic necessities up in the little like 4 locker. But like I said, it's a decent airship. It's not quite as large as Ekaterina's was, and hers was also pretty small, but it's enough to fit all of you. And like I said, you could shove Al and Betty on there and make the trip if you needed to.
And should we leave a healer's kit for the fallen individuals down there?
Yeah,
Probably both of them.
Shale's a Shell's packing a backpack full of like supplies, like rations, the healer's kits, 2 of the potions, maybe 1 of the
One of-
potions.
I'm not
What
even
do you
sure we
get?
should give them any of the potions because those are pretty much instant healing. We want these guys to take their
Yeah.
time getting better and not.
I
come
think
up
the
with
healer's
it.
kit, yeah, and a
Healer's
rope.
kit.
Maybe
Kids.
we give a potion to Grandpa Wooly. Huh? Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grandpa Wooly can have 2 potions. There's 4, right? So
Yeah, 4.
we'll get Grandpa Wooly gets 2, and then we'll and then we'll tie maybe Grandpa Wooly will help Shell. We'll tie a rope off and kind of lower it down into the hole without like revealing our faces. It's like
Dorian will be nice and he'll use one of his last spell slots to cast Good Berry and put the good berries in there. That's a moderate amount of healing I think we can tolerate, and it'll keep them well fed, so, in case the rations run out or something, if it takes them a week or
Right.
2 down
they're
there.
gonna have to. We're gonna tie off the rope, so they're gonna have to like shuffle a little bit to get to it.
It's gonna be a whole Dark Knight Rises montage of these guys go, trying to get to this out of this hole.
The
Yeah,
one
I
guy
would
has to
like
get
to,
his
like-
disc slipped back in.
Here
Sorry
you
about that.
go. Shale's like yelling over the edge, like,
Yeah.
"Okay, here you go. Thank you."
No hard
I would like
feelings,
to
just one of those
put a-
days, fellas.
Meanwhile,
I'll
they
put a little
they
note
can
in
just
there.
go down the stream and go around the long way, the way that you guys did.
Yeah.
This
I-
is our olive branch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a note in there. Just write a little note that says like, "Sorry, but next time don't be bad guys, and this won't happen." Love, Rio.
Shale nods in approval, and then reaches over your shoulder and like scribbles out your name, and it's like,
Rio
Love
Epiphany. And I
redacted.
write my address on it.
nope.
Here's a picture of me. Here's my address. Social
Here's
security
all my
number.
security card.
These are all my friends that I'm with.
These are all my best friends. This is Grandpa Wooly. Here's where he lives.
Just so you can get
Attached is the scrapbook I made for this journey, so you can read it while you get better.
Just for your sake, I have and all the names and addresses of all of my friends and closest loved ones. Also, just for fun, here's a list of my deepest fears. Okay, so.
And then you said we got some greater healing that I can get my mitts on.
Yes, there's 4 greater
Yes,
healing
great.
potions, which, for those of you who have not seen one of my streams before, I do potions a little differently. As an action, you can drink a health potion to get the full amount of healing that it offers. As a bonus action, you can drink it to roll as normal. I think it makes the action economy a little more exciting, and plus it offers full heals outside of combat. So
Yeah,
I
there's
do
nothing worse than spending
20
500 on a huge potion of healing, and then it's all ones, and you're like, cool, I really did waste my time with that, didn't I?
Took some sip.
I like it
Yeah.
better than the general like potions as bonus action. I think it's a good compromise.
Yeah.
So then, what's the max then of a greater?
20 hit points,
Okay,
or
a couple of those, and I'll be ship shape. Unless we also we'll get a little rest too.
Yeah,
So maybe I'll just take one for now.
And I am desperately in need of a short rest at the very least.
Yeah, you
All
guys
the
can
warlock
just
healing.
well, I
you
will
guys can
say,
just hang out. I got this.
Dorian, you can see that after the thunderclap, you saw the little whale appear, and you see the one guy running away, and the other guy fell down. You can lead Al and Betty over to the airship if you want.
Oh yeah, 100%. I figured he would have watched all that, and at first be just watching Rio, just this weird spectral elk, shaking its head, concerned looking, and then the whale appears, and just the face and the elk just watches it happen. And
Do we
sort of,
think,
nudges them towards there?
We think we're going to be needing this cart later, or should we leave that behind?
Dorian would shapeshift back to his human form and mention, we probably should bring it back. We did borrow it. They
That's
probably
right.
want that back.
From Ekaterina, that's right. She was very kind.
What? Look what we got her. I think she'll be. I think she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, fine. Okay, I'm just gonna like strap it to the back of the airship. Like,
Well, like I said, you can break
Dangle
it.
it.
You can break it into pieces and load those up. Otherwise, you can carefully disassemble it and put it on, but that'll take a few hours.
I got
Shit.
better.
I think
better
we can
things to do.
break it down real quick. You pop those wheels off, you know.
I'll just say, for the sake of it, Harles and Rio can break this thing down in a matter of a couple of minutes and like load up the pieces for you guys to mend later.
And Shale's gonna take a look at the sorry shape this engine's in.
Yes, make a Tinker's Tools check or Smith's Tools, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, can I help out with any patching
Yes.
that needs to be done on the hull?
I would say you can either make your own check or you can give Shale advantage.
I'll help Shale out if we're working towards the same goal here.
It doesn't look like. I gotta roll it twice because I didn't see an option to give myself advantage.
I feel like Harles, that his version of that is he needs to sit, and so he's kind of like helping direct Shale on some things.
Pulls out her multi-tool. Did I roll 2 14s?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, so here's the thing. This thing will go airborne, but you do notice, and this is something that you saw, like when you heard the sound and like saw some of the smoke and some of the other things as you guys were approaching here. It's exactly the problem that you noticed, or that you were pretty sure of, and there's an issue with the actual intake of whale oil into the engine, where it's leaking, which is what is causing it to, like, as the engine heats up, as it like is spinning up essentially, the whale oil is not feeding into the engine, it's literally just like catching fire as it's like leaking out. That is an easy enough fix, so I'll say you can make another check to try and make a quick fix for it. As far as like the actual patches and like little dings in the hull, there's nothing that will affect your ability to actually fly. It's just the engine that's going to be the big problem.
Where would I find my background ability? I know that I have something specifically for patching up.
Description.
It should be description.
Okay.
This time I got a 21.
Nice.
You can perform repairs on I'm assuming a water vehicle would apply in this setting. When you use the ability, you restore a number of hit points to the hull of a water vehicle equal to 5 times your proficiency modifier. It cannot be patched by you in this way again until it has been pulled ashore and fully repaired.
So
5 times your proficiency modifier of 2.
So I will say, as Shale goes and is using their tools to like quickly like rip some of the like plating off of the actual engine and start like repairing and like patching up so that the intake will actually get whale oil to the engine properly as opposed to leaking like more than half of it. You do notice that there are a couple of dings and a couple of like little tiny tears in the
more structural, and whereas Shale's doing more of the mechanical.
So you quickly like root around through some of the supplies and you find like a little whale oil like welding torch, and you have like your hammers and some of the other stuff, and you start like banging out some of these like little dings, and you're like, okay, and you quickly grab like all right, here's like a taut whalebone needle, and you're like, let me repair some of this. And in the few minutes it takes Shale to fix up the engine, you've fixed like 5 or 6 like of the larger dings in the ship. This thing is still a ways from being great, but it'll be more than enough to get you all back to Eris Bridge if that's where you'd like to go, or if you want to go and just go straight for them whales. Also,
You can hold on. Well, none of us are whalers. We at least go pick up the captain, right? Like,
Yeah, we got to regroup.
Mhm.
the feel like Shale's expertise is like fixing airships on the go too. So she's like really focused on getting it running and moving as fast as possible. So like we don't get caught, and then she can fix it on the way. Like her suit is designed to do it. I feel like she's like in the little engine room, like banging things together, and Grandpa Wooly is like at the helm, and she's like, "Turn it over!" It's like, "Don't flood it!
Well,
Pop the clutch!"
as oh my god, as you all finally you can set the engine off and begin to actually take off, you do hear a bit of commotion coming from the entrance to the cavern as you have set down the healer's kit and the rope and all that, and as you're like all loaded up on the airship and it kind of begins to sputter, just and like putter and like move and shift upward. I mean, this thing is like, the engine is enough to almost like completely vertical takeoff and landing, just like, and like it gives a hard shuddering lift like back and forth. There's a little bit of smoke and air that like putters out the back of the engines as you begin to move forward over the actual entrance. And you see like this one figure who's most of the way up, and he's like, like climbing, and then as you pass over, he's like this big plume of smoke, and he's like, no, fuck.
Yeah, I know we're already launching, but Dorian, seeing that, kind of thinks like, we might need to get out of here faster. Sort of just sprints to the back of the stern of the boat, puts his hands out, breathes in, breathes out, and then breathes in, and as he does, like there's an air pressure buildup behind him. He just pulls with that breathe in, and I'm gonna cast a gust of wind on the back of the ship to kind of get us moving. Just push us along to get us moving at a faster speed than the speed of snail that this thing is currently exhibiting.
Yeah, it's slowly kind of puttering past with like big plumes of smoke. It's like when you turn on a faucet for the first time in a long time, and it has like that kind of like, it's just like
the brief fart. Yeah.
But with your gust of wind, it's like the made like and it like you begin to take off. The last thing you hear as you're like moving up into the air and ascending around is you hear my arm.
There's like a tumble and a clang in the engine room. Just oh great! Now I'm upside down.
Harl's is like holding stuff together as it's like rattling with the extra speed boost that we got. Come on, baby.
Hear me, baby, hold together.
All right, now from where you're all at, you can go pretty much anywhere you like. So there's Eris Bridge back the way you came. There's, of course, you could go to Harkenlade, Cinnabar. You could go and just try and track these whales. What would you all like to do?
I think we should go back to Eris Bridge. We owe someone a ship and an opportunity to maybe repair their own. If they're not going to get this ship, then they could at least join us for the whaling expedition and get enough money to repair their own.
Yeah, I agree with that.
How much time on the way to Eris Bridge do you think we have to do like repairs and stuff?
Well,
yeah, and are we getting any rests or anything?
Well, the nice thing is that obviously it'll be much faster in the airship as opposed to you guys taking the cart. So where it was, like 5 days-ish, it'll now take you 2 full days to get back. Leaving now, which at this point, like I said, you left kind of like, so you got there like right in the morning. It's getting into the evening as you take off. So I will say you'll get there not the next night, but the night after. At most, if you go slow, which the ship is kind of slow, the morning after that. So you'll have 2 days, so you can all take a long rest.
Yes.
Shell's a kid with a new toy, so she's like running back and forth with bits and bobs, boxes of like parts. One of the first things she does is she's going to use the suit to rappel down the hull. She's going to take off any of the flags they're flying. She gets rid of those.
I will say,
And, like-
before we get too far, it looks as if our friend Gaynor just lost power, so we're gonna wait a moment.
We had to lose some weight. We threw off Rio. We weren't gonna make it.
Small but dense.
As
Last
you're-
one in the party had to go.
as you're flying up, you all just kick Rio off the side.
We need those elk though. We got to get our deposit back.
So we're gonna take a quick. I'm gonna use this as an excuse to take a quick bathroom break. So we'll take a quick 5 minutes and see if we can get Gaynor back. But stay tuned, folks. We'll be back.
Intermission.
going to fix your camera right now.
You proved that?
No.
Rough look.
All right.
We lost Rio. Okay.
God damn,
hide and
that's
seek was
fine.
not the time. We gotta get things done here.
All right. So we're back. Welcome back, everybody. So, back on the airship, you all can begin to head back toward Arisbridge. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And the journey is much shorter. Like I said, it should be about 2 days. It's enough for you all to take a long rest. And I actually would like each of you to now level up to level 5.
Yay!
Wait, level 5? Have we been level 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been level 3 this whole time.
I forgot to level up.
Okay. That's
leveled
awesome.
I think we were all I think we were all 4 except for Rio.
Yeah.
Who came in a little later.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good to know. I'm going to level up twice now.
This guy.
Good for Druid being so good, playing 2 levels down, you wouldn't even know.
I will say, folks, I did make the stat blocks for the Statue Guardian. I will be putting those out on Twitter today. I was going to put them last week, but life is an unceasing nightmare. So I'll put them out today.
I'm actually probably going to use those in one of my games today.
Oh yeah,
I will send them.
I love
to you.
multi-token monsters like that.
They're awesome.
I was like, how can I inject more like Zelda-esque boss fights into my games? And I was like, fuck it, I'll make it myself. Which is about how 99% of my homebrew goes. Is I want a thing, there's no option for that thing, so I make that thing.
Nice.
The other 1% is, oh, there is a thing, but it sucks, so I make it myself, so I make it better.
I hate it.
For the record, those dice are my hit dice, which I could have just taken the flat die, because it's the same, so cool.
Absolutely flawless.
First thing Shale's gonna do on the trip while she's like tinkering with the airship the whole time is she's gonna get rid of all the flags they're flying and scale down the hull and like paint over the like the name. I'm gonna be just sanding off all the serial numbers here.
That's fun.
Yep.
I'll tell you what. Make a stealth check for me.
Ooh. I'm
Nice.
still in my 4.
Okay.
I don't know the context to this.
No, yeah, you get most of it. The problem is there's like some of it is not easy to do while the ship is moving. Like getting up on some of the sails and then like hanging off the side of the ship to like paint the whole, like you can get it, but it's a little rough. The problem is more so that like you know, sand off the serial numbers, if you will, but you actually forget to put any new stuff on there. So it's just a blank ship. Which that won't raise any suspicion at all.
I'll pick up the captain and then we'll all pick a name for it. That's her reasoning.
Just insert ship name here. The TBD.
TBD.
All right. What is Rio doing during this trip?
I think that Rio is kind of just like stretching their legs, and I think just like trying to get more in touch with this magic they have now. I think that like moment of like, all right, here we go. I gotta spook some folks. I think the fact that after the first couple of times, everybody was like, oh, it's not working. And then suddenly it did work like that. And they spoke with 1,000 voices. I think was worrying to them. And I think they're just kind of being like, I should probably figure out what's going on. So doing a lot of just like, your standard magic practice.
Yeah.
And also I think they're doing some visual journaling. So rather than writing out the experiences, just kind of drawing pictures of their experiences in a little notebook.
A little
like,
comic strip.
Yeah, like this is us fighting a big statue. This is the fist. I hit this fist a bunch of times.
Little flip animation of Harl's getting squished inside the fist and his eyes bugging out.
Very much, yeah. Some real Captain Underpants energy.
Like Shale walks by with a box full of gears or something, rockets or whatever, and like looks over your shoulder, and there's like the fight, and she's like, oh, that's cool, and then there's one that's like the child drawing the picture in the horror movie where it's like you, and then behind you is a huge shadowy figure,
highly rendered whale.
And just
red eyes, and she's like,
just look up at you and just like the biggest smile and like, that's my friend.
Cool. And then she just like skitters off.
I'm like laying on the ground, like my feet are like swinging behind me. I'm like drawing with crayon on the floor. I love that.
Jesus Christ. Okay. What is Dorian during all of, which also for Rio, so everyone leveled up to level 5? So you're working on it?
Currently.
Okay.
Yes.
So take your time. What is Dorian doing during all of this?
Probably during the whole thing. I figure Dorian's been like meditating, relatively centering himself. Probably just enjoying being in the air. That's something he's been wanting to do for a long time. He might be a primalist, and he might personally disdain a lot of the necessary inventions and innovation that led to the advent of airships, which he thinks led ultimately to the death of Bolarius one day. But at the same time, there is a huge part of him that does want to go on a whaling expedition, that does want to experience this. And, it's already happened, so he's just happy to be here. He's probably vibing for most of the trip. I figure he's been slowly getting more in tune with nature, learning the different spells he can do. Probably like, this is me sort of enacting his level up. He's expanding his powers, testing himself, seeing what he's capable of. So like, occasionally he might like try more powerful jets of wind off the side of the bow, like seeing if he can like disrupt clouds or sculpt them. Things like that, as he begins to like mess with the new spells he's got. And of course, like, hang out by the party. Occasionally cast good berry, give everyone some food. Nothing too extreme. It's keeping it low energy for this trip.
Nice. And what is Harl's doing during the trip?
So I think first he's gonna sidle over to Dorian, pop a squat, make a lot of noise as he's lowering himself down.
I think Dorian would help him sit down if he sees him like doing the old man like kind of.
Nope, I'm fine. I'm fine. Leave me a bit of pride. Yeah, there was a lot out there.
It was.
I'm seeing. Well, I don't got the same pep I used to have in in Meloxodon Steppe. I know we've done some running in our days. It's catching up with me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm of much service to y'all here. I feel like if we run into something like that again, I don't want to be the one to slow you down.
Dorian with hand sign very quickly would just gesture. You're not a burden. But
I appreciate that.
I understand if you need to rest.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, I feel my skills might be better served on the ground, doing things a little slower while y'all are taking to the skies and going on these crazy adventures.
He nods and then sort of like looks over the side of the boat and looks down at the forest, looks back to Harls, and just sort of gestures again. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. She would have loved it. My Mabel, this was her place. That's she was like my girl Frizzlepfeffer here, just flying free and full of wisdom. That's why I make these carvings. And I try to leave them anywhere special that I think she would enjoy. And you know what? I got something for you too, my friend. So he pulls out. He's got a carving of a bear, and he's sort of etched in some of the iconography that's similar to more your spiritual version of it. It's like, I want you to have this. The bear it represents strength and courage. And while they're often independent, they can be fiercely protective and nurturing with their kin, and I see that for you. If I'm not around here, I expect these kids are going to need a little bit of guidance, and I hope you, as the shepherd, can lead them down the right path.
Dorian takes a little trinket and turns it over in his hand, looking at it. And even though he doesn't have a mouth at the moment, you can see he clearly is smiling. He slowly takes it and puts it in his pouch and reaches over and just gives you a giant hug. And you can feel like he signs after he sort of like lets you go and just says, "We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you."
This was one big adventure for me towards the end of my days here, and I thank you for it immensely.
Anytime you're ready for another.
Yeah, I hope our paths will cross again.
And Dorian's mouth actually does appear, and he does smile. And he's got a little bit of like mist in his eyes at this one, because he's run into you a lot. He knows he probably still run into you more, but like, it's Bolarius. People do eventually disappear, and he's used to it to an extent, but it's still not always easy. It's never easy. Let's be real. And he has become very fond, and so he just smiles and says, "We will. Very soon. After all, the town still needs a shepherd too."
That's right.
He turns towards the forest and watches as it goes by, and sort of like quietly lets that say everything he thinks he needs to say.
And I think Carl's will get to the other two, but I know Shale is busy keeping this thing afloat, and he's in desperate need of a good nap here. So we're gonna get through some of the ride before he talks to them a bit more.
I like while you guys are sleeping, Shale's like snoozing in the in some corner somewhere with some kind of gadget and like splayed out, like that she like fell asleep fiddling with, just chew.
Gotta wake up once in a while when the engine makes a noise. Oh, you know, rattle something and then fall back to sleep.
We're falling. It punctuates your conversation with, "Oh, we're falling," and then falls back asleep again.
Well, the journey back, as I said, only takes a couple of days. You can see the town of Eris Bridge. First, you see the sheep surrounding Eris Bridge, and then that one main road. But you do see at Ekaterina's house, behind it, a large, almost completely rebuilt airship. And it seems that, she's done the vast majority of the work in the week that you've been gone. The damage was bad, but there was a lot that was salvageable. So it was basically just patching big repairs and redoing the engines and a couple other things. You can, as you're like setting down, you see Ekaterina, this tall, like redheaded woman with this like wild shock of curly hair and like this very like sun-kissed skin, if you will. But she like steps out and kind of like blinks up at you with this, she has like the massive harpoon in one hand and like sees as you're like setting the ship down, and she instantly recognizes you all. She gives this half surprised like wave of like, oh. And she
Captain! Captain! Captain!
and she
You
like,
all right?
looks at the ship. Where'd you steal this from?
We didn't steal it. We found it in the woods.
Make a
I feel like we have
deception
a rough landing too. We're like coming in like, yeah, and then just like drop the last.
check. It's just like
A little too fast. Coming in a little hot.
Out of the lower deck as it spoke. Say, wow,
say-
that was fun. Was that on purpose?
That was mostly on purpose.
Yeah, she kind of shakes her head. Yeah, you found it. So, where'd you get it, really, though?
I mean, maybe some. She like kicks. She's like kicking rocks with her foot. Like some radic guys. They just left it out in the woods. So
Scared him away.
And she,
something did, not me.
we ran into a bit of competition, and let's say we're square now.
and she kind of nods, and she looks at her like almost entirely. It's like 90% rebuilt ship. Like looks at the airship that you have now, which is a little smaller, like her ship, which is mostly rebuilt, looks like it is in better shape than like yours, which is fully built. It's just crappy.
Yeah.
And she's like, "How much you want for it? Because I could use the parts."
$7 billion.
And
You heard my fish friend. 7 billion.
7
Gold,
billion.
golden doubloons.
Well, how about this? I know you all need a.
Just, like doing the slight like pinching like the bridge of his nose, just like I'm not even good with commerce, and I know that's so wrong. That's so wrong.
Alternatively, I know y'all need a ride yourselves here, so perhaps this can kind of be a sort of a down payment towards our friend here, Ekaterina's services.
Or you can tell us your deepest secret.
And she kind of
Oh
looks
no, I
around,
want to go with that deep secret.
and she leans in. My deepest secret is I actually love to kill nosy people.
It's a good secret. You should keep that one a secret because nosy people would be so scared to hear that.
And she, like, completely ignores Rio and, like, looks back at the rest of you. It's a nice offer, but I have nowhere to go. It's not rebuilt yet, and I haven't had a lead on a whale in a long time.
We might.
And
Yeah,
she
fun.
just kind of slowly turns her head back to Dorian. You what now?
We might. And by might, I mean we do.
Should we tell him that it's a lot of whales?
Dorian like looks back and kind of like just gives you that like slightly sly like from the front it seems like a fine like look out of the corner of the eye. From behind, like it's JoJo's like intimidating stare back at you, just like one thing at a
I'll put all
time.
our cards on the table now, kid.
It's one whale, and we know where it is.
Definitely not a pod.
Nope.
One singular whale.
It's a one whale.
And
You gotta know when to hold them. You gotta know when to fold them.
and
What, laundry?
she looks at all of you, and she like sticks the harpoon into the dirt and folds her arms across her chest, her trademark scowl. All right, you're hired. You have 1 hour. Get your shit. Be ready to leave.
Okay.
I'll need the time to break down the parts I need from your ship to put them onto mine.
I can help you with that, Captain.
And she nods. Good. And she starts like moving over toward the engines to start like with her tools to start ripping the engines off of this ship.
If I could jump back into kind of throughout this process, I imagine Harles is gonna take the other two aside one by one. Starting with Shale. Like I know you're busy. I know you got a lot you're doing here, but
I was
let me just.
gonna touch the shell.
We're getting to it. We're getting to it. But I just need to have a quick talk with you. It's like I got something for you. He pulls out a carving of a badger.
Oh,
Yeah, this reminded me of you. The badger.
you think I'm a weasel?
Yeah, sometimes maybe. But the badger here,
crunches her face.
they're clever and determined, and you know what? Sometimes if they got a problem, they just drill on through it. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. All right, but they're always resourceful and they know how to find a solution. And that reminded me of you. And well, I was talking to Dorian, and I think I'm better served elsewhere while y'all go off on your crazy adventures.
She's kind of like holding it in both hands. She's like a digging weasel. That's pretty cool. And then like her ears droop, and she's like, "You're not coming with us?"
Not for a bit, maybe I'll see you again, but I think I might be more useful if I head off on my own for a bit.
But we're like a team. We're a crew. We just got a ship.
You guys have been great, but I know I've been acting like I know everything about everything, but for someone as young as you, and I'm not sure how young that is, but you seem to have things under control here, and I could probably learn a thing or two from you myself.
If it's about the statue, like it just bonks you up a little bit, like it happens. They get bonked up all the time. That's why I'm always hiding in that thing. Kind of like points over her shoulder at the mech suit. And I was like, everyone messes up sometimes. Gets bonked, gets beat up. I'm gotta quit everything about it. It's not really.
No. It has nothing to do with y'all or myself here. Yeah, I got a bit of pride that was scuffed there, but honestly, I I think you are a good crew, and you've been one for me. And now this isn't goodbye. You know, I hope to reconvene with you, and I hope that I can provide something else on my travels. But for now, I think y'all young spry folk could probably move a little faster than this old man here.
She's gonna like hop up and hug your trunk. She can't like get the height difference is like a little too. She can't like go in for a regular hug.
All right, I'll come on down now.
She'll give you like a good earnest hug, and she's like, "You better come on the next one."
Deal. That's a deal.
And Grandpa Wooly, you knew Grandpa Jed. You think you can send my parents a message?
Yeah,
You know how
certainly.
to get hold of them.
I'm sure I can manage.
She gets kind of low and kind of serious. She's like, "Guy from Raddick sent me a message a couple days ago. Said wanted to hire me. Said that someone said that another drill nose like talked to him, told him about me, and drill noses are a lot of things, but they're not snitches. So I'm kind of worried. I think someone might have got in trouble."
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Sounds like you did the right thing, though. Stick to your guns.
like she puts like she got the big watery eyes, like
Put your goggles over him.
do the old anime thing, pull her hat down so you can't see her, and like
Terrible
get the
day
tear.
for rain.
Gotta get back to work.
I think later, Rio comes up and is like, "All right, Grandpa Wooly, anything you need me to load up onto the ship for you? I'll just grab it. I'll bring it right up for you. No need to exert yourself. You gotta rest before the long journey ahead."
Actually, you know, kid, I'm glad you
Runs
asked that. I got a special job for you. Now, I talked with our friends here, and I'm gonna be going on a separate path for a bit. This is not goodbye forever, but I got something special I need you to help me out with while I'm away. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed, but see, I make these carvings here. Something I do. It's for my dear wife, Mabel. These owls here. Now she can't go on these adventures like we have been, so I leave these owls anywhere special that I think she would enjoy, and I think you're just the right person to help me out with that. So I'll give you like say five of these little various owl carvings. So if you see anywhere that you think is real special, that you think someone would really want to soak in the view, I want you to leave these there for me. You think you can handle that?
Yeah, I can do that. So when are you gonna get them back though?
Oh, don't worry. I'll keep making them. It's a never-ending production.
Okay.
These belong out there, and I want you to help me with that. Is that all right?
I can do. Yeah, I can do that. So you have to. Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, you know, it's not forever though. I got something else, some other business I got to take care of. You know, but I'll catch up with you guys. Don't you worry.
I think I say like, well, don't really know how this is gonna go without you. But I'll do my best. And,
I know you. I know you will. I know you will.
Yeah. You should but we'll try and find you later, and we'll tell you. I'll write everything down, and I'll tell you all about it later.
Yeah, I love these pictures you're making. Those are great. I hope to catch up with the whole story. And you know what? I got something special just for you too. Okay, it's as a thank you for doing this special job for me. I got one that's just for you. And pull out it's a carving of a sky whale. This one, yeah, I had a feeling you might like this one here. The whale, they're wise and they're compassionate. And something special about whales is no matter how deep they dive into the depths, they can propel themselves back into the light. And I want you to remember that. All right. You
Okay.
seems like you got a lot you're going up against here, and I want you to remember that you can always come back into the light here, and you got these fine friends here to help you through it. All right.
Oh, old timey wisdom. Oh.
I go. I got something for you. Hold on. And I run over to my sketchbook and I tear out a picture of It's me and Grandpa Wooly sitting at the front of the cart on the first day, and I was like, I made a copy for you, so you can have one too.
Well, that's real special. I appreciate that.
I was fine until you had the fucking cry.
And I think I lean in and I give him a big hug and I say in Loxodon, thanks, Grandpa. And I would like to cast protection from evil and good on just like a nice warm feeling from Garavia as well.
I feel like Garavia's in on the hug too. Like, yeah, you bet, kid.
I might be a dire creature that wishes for nothing but harm on others, but you are adorable.
I will
Sure
say,
thing,
Ekaterina's goodbye is a little more terse. She's like, "You're leaving?"
Yeah.
All right.
I'll see you around.
She kind of looks at you and she reaches out to give you a handshake.
Yep. You got a good crew here. All right. I think they'll be a good service to you.
She nods. Let's just hope they don't annoy me.
No promises on that one.
She does the handshake thing, but she does the thing where she pulls on your arm to pull you into a hug. She's like, I'm sad you're not coming. You know me, I get so angry sometimes. I think I'd strike the sun if it offended me. But
well, something about this group here is they might just wear you down on that, whether you want it or not.
She nods. Don't go doing something stupid like dying of old age. And she will pull away from the hug, and she turns back onto the ship, and she literally jumps up to grab the side railing and pulls herself onto the ship. Clearly a very strong woman, just and it's on the deck. She's like, "All right, enough being lazy. Come on!" And she's gesturing for you all to get on board. And that's actually where we're gonna leave off for today.
A lovely little time.
Yes. Thank you all so much, everybody in the chat. I want to thank my lovely players for hanging out today, but all of you in the chat for bearing with us. We had some technical issues at the beginning. But
then also at the end.
Yeah. It's always nice to have something like Bolarius. Like this campaign is always so fun for me to run, and it is made so much better by having such awesome players. So once we go by, you can each introduce yourselves. If you have any projects, something that you're working on, please feel free to shout them out so everyone can follow you. And why don't we'll go the other way and we'll leave Chris last. So Gainer, please tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
What is up, gang? My name is Gainer. You can find me on Twitter at GainNorcott. Other social media, I'm also that, but that's where I'm primarily at. You can find me weekly here playing Rio Pivity for Bolarius. You can find me monthly over on twitch.tv/Thorny Dryad, running a game of mass RPG called hashtag UForce Inheritance. That's a great one over there. Got a great group of players. If you are interested in the Warriors series of YA novels and want to hear two college students talk about it, you can listen to my podcast, Two Leg Talks, wherever podcasts are found. And more projects coming soon. So keep your eye on the skies because that's where my projects will be, in the skies.
Exactly.
Nice tie-in too to what we're doing.
Right. And also whales.
All right. Thank you so much, Gator. Like I said, I love Rio so much.
What a beautiful little bean.
All right. Omni.
Hello, everyone. I am the Last Omnitect, your favorite robot American. And yeah, you guys can catch me on my own channel, twitch.tv/The Last Omnitect. You guys can find me on Twitter at The Last Omnitect. I'm actually going to be going to stream tomorrow on my own channel at 10:30 a.m. EST. And I do the same thing on Saturdays. On Thursdays, we tend to relax, have something we call the Breakfast Club. We chat, play video games, hang out. Just, basically it's a breakfast date with us in the TTRPG community. We all get to take it down a notch and chill. Like, just nothing on the agenda, just have a good time. Saturdays, I run the Stellar Forge, where I world build, and I do so live on stream. You guys can catch me doing art, rule smithing, and just world building generally. I work largely on my own tabletop role-playing game system, Legacy, Storytelling the World Tomorrow. And I'm also working on a couple of other projects, including a fantasy project on the side. Eventually, I'll be running Legacy on Derek's channel, DMDM Studios, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I need to move first and see how my internet situation is going to be. I also run Mouse Guard every other Wednesday, not this week, next week, on Derek's channel. And you can also catch me on Redemption VA and DMDM Studios as a frequent player in both their games. I play Cyberpunk, I play Call of Cthulhu, I play D&D so much, Lancer. So yeah, a fair bit's on my plate. Later this year in November, I'm moving up north, and when I do, I'm making a push to go full-time into content creation. And I just opened my commissions, though they immediately closed again because everyone responded with so much energy.
Oh.
So, hey. However, keep an eye out. I'm going to, after I complete commissions, be opening up commission slots. So if you like my art, hey, I can do character art and environmental art. And I just wanted to say, on a personal note, Chris, I've been wanting to play in a game with you for a long time. This has been a genuine pleasure, both as an artist, a contemporary, and a friend. So thank you so much for playing this game with me.
Likewise, 100%.
That's me.
All right. And like I said, yeah, I do have a very, very special place in my heart for Dorian, just like embracing the weirdness of what a changeling would actually be like.
If you're going to play something weird and off-color, run with it.
Yeah.
Like, skin everything, people. Don't just cast Fireball. Make it your Fireball. And if you're going to play a changeling, be the weirdest changeling you can be.
Heck yeah.
Be the unsettling you want to see in the world. All right, Matthew.
Farewell, wizards. I'm Matthew, cartoonist, illustrator, and DM. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at MattmanDH. Let's see. I'm always streaming with Alec. I'll be back on next Tuesday. Where we're playing Cyberpunk. Alec's campaign, the Phantom Pain. I'm playing another Tinkerer, Left Side Lily.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
we started with a bang last session, so I'm excited to get back to it. And good job tugging my heartstrings, Chris, today. Like, what a way to go out. Hope Grandpa Wooly will get a chance to come back soon.
Oh yeah, me too.
Hell
Cheers
yeah.
to that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I will say it's like obviously I love Shale, just that whole energy of like, who, me? I'm just a little goblin, like is endlessly entertaining. But I do look forward to next week when we do Phantom Pain, which I'll talk more about in a moment. But it's the man of the hour. Chris, please tell the people.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm Chris, also known as C Leverett Art on Instagram and Twitter. As we've kind of alluded to, this is the last session for Harls, because I'm going back to my teaching job for the school year starting up here. But I hope I can pop up. Harls can pop back in whenever I'm able. But in the meantime, I'll be jumping in wherever I can. I know we're gonna keep trying to do our Enchanting Escapades stream every other Thursday.
Which
maybe get some guests. Subject to change. And then any other projects that work within my schedule.
Yeah.
And also finished up character art for all these fine folks. So we'll start sharing those now.
Yeah.
My parting gift, and yeah, it's been so fun to play with all you guys. It's definitely a lot of good times in what we've done, and yeah, had a lot of fun collaborating artistically with each of the characters too. So we'll share our kind of our side by side on our visions coming together there. So all around, it's been so great.
And yeah, I will say it's like obviously we're all gonna miss Harls. I was really holding it together until the very end there. You both got me. But, yeah, on a personal note, it's been such a thrill to have you on a stream. I know we play D&D every week, but just to have you on a stream so that your talents can be shared with the world. For those of you out there, I've known Chris for over 20 years. So it's, I was the best man at his wedding. It's like we've known each other forever. It's
almost
like,
as long as I've been alive.
Oh my God! Don't
think
remind
about
us the world.
it's
Think about it.
It's been really, really excellent to have you on the stream, and I look forward to us being able to. Obviously, we do Enchanting Escapades, name subject to change, every other week. But I am looking forward to even more projects in the future. In the meantime, for those of you watching, you probably know who I am, but just in case you don't, I'm Alec Kazan, a pro DM, purveyor of all things homebrew. I stream a few times a week now. Every other Tuesday, I do Cyberpunk Phantom Pain, which has Matthew. It also has Neverletterland who's actually in the chat right now. And we have Ty Artemis and our friend Kate. It's been a super fun campaign. We've only done one episode so far. The next episode is coming out next week, so make sure to check it out. All the episodes of Bolarius and Cyberpunk Phantom Pain will start going up on YouTube starting next week. So keep an eye out. So if you are a little behind and you're like, I need to get caught up, this will be your chance. Every Wednesday, obviously, I'm here running Bolarius. This is a Bolarius campaign. For those of you unfamiliar, Bolarius is a 5e setting created by Bogus Cheesecake. I don't know why my commands for everyone's things didn't work, but I'll redo.
There we go.
I'll be staying tuned, seeing how you guys hold together. All right, without Harls.
We will die.
He'll send some letters, just like, guys, come on.
Yeah, they'll be delivered to corpses.
Yes,
We'll
but
be
in
dead.
the
Still got a grandpa spleen from afar.
but in the means like I said, every Wednesday I'm doing Bolarius, and then every Thursday I'm doing something at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm either doing Enchanting Escapades, again, name subject to change, or I'm doing Redemption VA's Cyberpunk Red Stream called What's Yours Is Mine, where Ami and I are both in that, which we'll be playing this week.
Yes.
I'm very excited because I am playing as my new character, Fireball. So,
Who's an absolute peach, and you all should take a look and see. I love Fireball.
so keep your eyes peeled for that one. And I will say, I have a very exciting project coming up in September on Wednesday nights, hosted by Altered Echo Archives. I will be running the Red Masquerade, which is a Cyberpunk Red Vampire the Masquerade mashup of my own design. So if you want to see vampires running around Night City, stay tuned for that, because more details to come. But you can find me on all of the appropriate social medias as Alec Kazan. I love all of you. Mwah. Have a wonderful day. Stay magical, my friends. And
until next time, wizards, keep on whizzing.
For the love of God, keep on whizzing.
Keep on whizzing. Come on.
Keep on with.
Wizards, keep on whizzing.